So you're thinking about moving to Fort Collins, Colorado. Maybe you've heard people rave about the breweries, the outdoor lifestyle, the charming old town, the schools, the views, the clean air. Or maybe you just saw enough pictures online to say, okay, I need to check this place out. But before you pack the moving truck or make that offer on a home you've only seen on Zillow, there are 5 things you absolutely need to know if you want your move to Fort Collins to feel exciting, smart, and stress-free instead of like a surprise-filled roller coaster. Hey, it's Mark Powell with Osborne Home Group and eXp Realty. If you're exploring Fort Collins or anywhere along the northern Colorado Front Range, hit that like and subscribe because every week I bring you the insider tips, local breakdowns, and real market updates most people never hear until they've already moved. And go ahead and drop a comment below. Tell me what's drawing you to Fort Collins. Are you coming for the lifestyle, the job market, the schools, the beer, the mountains? I want to know. Now let's dig in because these 5 things will completely shape your experience living here. The first thing you need to know, Fort Collins has a vibe, and you either feel it instantly or it grows on you fast. This city is clean, lively, outdoorsy, and full of people who genuinely care about where they live. You'll find cyclists everywhere, people with dogs in every coffee shop patio, folks working remotely with a mountain view behind them, and families walking around Old Town like it's a postcard. But it's not just pretty, it's functional. You have world-class trails, Horsetooth Reservoir, a thriving job market, Colorado State University bringing energy to the city, and one of the most walkable downtowns in the entire state. Let me paint you a quick picture. Imagine grabbing a Saturday morning coffee, strolling through Old Town with the snow lightly falling, a street musician playing nearby, and you think, yep, this is why people love it here. Fort Collins isn't just a city, it's a lifestyle. And if you want that balanced blend of nature plus culture plus community, you're gonna fit right in. But the second thing you need to know is this. Fort Collins is not a cheap area anymore. And depending on where you're coming from, that may shock you. Housing has gone up dramatically over the past several years. The demand to live here is real, and that demand shows up in the price tags. You're paying for lifestyle, for safety, for clean neighborhoods, for top-rated schools, and honestly, for the undeniable charm that Fort Collins has mastered. However, and this is a big however, Fort Collins also offers some of the most stable home value appreciation in Colorado. This is not a boom and bust area. It's slow, steady, reliable growth. If you're thinking long-term, if you're thinking stability, if you're thinking resale value, this market is one of the strongest on the Front Range. And if you're strategic, you can still find pockets that offer great value. Which brings me to the third thing you need to know. Traffic and distance here are not what people expect. Fort Collins feels like a small city, but depending on where you're living and where you're driving, it can stretch out. Harmony Road can get busy, College Avenue can feel packed, and if you're commuting to Denver or DIA, you're looking at 45 minutes to 1 hour and 15 minutes depending on traffic and weather. The upside? Most daily drives within Fort Collins are easy. Clean streets, well-designed infrastructure, tons of bike lanes, and the city is expanding access points in smart ways. But you need to understand your commute, your lifestyle, and your daily patterns. Because where you choose to live in Fort Collins can change your day-to-day experience dramatically. The fourth thing you need to know before moving to Fort Collins is the weather and the outdoor lifestyle are part of the culture. If you love sunshine, you're in heaven. Fort Collins gets over 300 sunny days a year, but winters can surprise people. Not necessarily because they're brutal, they're not, but because they can swing from 60 degrees to snowstorm in 24 hours. One day you're grilling outside, the next your car is frozen shut, and you're wondering why the weather is behaving like it has emotional issues. But here's the magic. The weather doesn't stop life here. People still hike, they still bike, they still walk their dogs, go to breweries, go paddleboarding, run around Horsetooth. The outdoor lifestyle is woven into the DNA of the city. If you're someone who wants nature at your fingertips, Fort Collins is basically a playground with a built-in weather simulator. And finally, the fifth thing you need to know before moving to Fort Collins. This city values community deeply. It shows up in the festivals, the farmers markets, the music, the local businesses, the sustainability efforts, the events at CSU, the way people treat each other, and the small things like neighbors actually knowing one another. If you want privacy and invisibility, Fort Collins might feel too warm and welcoming for you. But if you love the idea of a community you can plug into, even if you're introverted, you're going to feel at home fast. There's a reason people who move to Fort Collins tend to stay. The city has that intangible, this feels right energy. It's family-friendly, eco-conscious, adventure-focused, and shockingly safe. And whether you're single, raising a family, working remotely, or retiring, Fort Collins has something that fits your life. So if Fort Collins is on your radar and you're trying to decide if it's the right move, these 5 things are the foundation. And trust me, the more you visit, the more you explore, the more you feel the rhythm of the city, the more it clicks. Before you go, drop a comment below and tell me what you'd love to know about Fort Collins, neighborhoods, schools, the market, things to do, cost of living, whatever's on your mind. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a new breakdown of the cities and towns across northern Colorado. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark Powell with Osborne Home Group and eXp Realty, here to help you make the smartest move possible. I'll see you in the next one.